are back in business. Happy, what the hell day is it? Wednesday. Kind of lost track of time there for a second. What day is it? My microphone's a little quiet today. There we go. Bump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Dance. Joe's on the road. Joe is on the road. Crazy. I'm checking with all my stuff here. That's a little quiet. It's probably because it knows that there's new stuff coming. Perhaps not. I don't know. Check 1, 2. There we go. A little better. I was doing some commercial production for one of the music festivals, and I was readjusting my microphone. So it's kind of a little bit quieter than I like it to be. Could be my headphone volume too, but yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. Joe's on the road and listening. Don't type and drive. Unless you're a passenger, then do what you gotta do. Open container, all this stuff. Wherever you're watching, thank you for being a part of it today. Facebook Live, YouTube.com/Cooperville Live, as well as our Twitch channel, which is at Cooperville Live. Follow, subscribe, hit the notification button, all of the things, so you know what's what. You can also support the show by joining our Patreon. That link is in the comment section. So I'm gonna lean back today. I feel like I'm up. I'm trying to lean back. Lean back. But join our Patreon. Exclusive content. You'll know who's coming on before we announce it on our social medias or on the show. And help support what we got going on here. The free speech revolution continues. It's been a day. No guests on the show today, so if you're holding on for that, not today. Mañana, though, tomorrow, we're going to have a fun time. We're going to have a fun time tomorrow on the show. Not that today's not going to be fun. Today may be a little abbreviated. It's my last evening with my child in town, so enjoy some QT with Mini Cooper. So we'll chat some headlines, talk about the rest of the week, and if y'all have anything to add, feel free to comment in the comment sections. We can bring those comments onto the screen like we do with Joe. We go, blam. That's how we do. The show is brought to you by Captain Coop's Beard Company. Or there it is. There's that logo. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. We have new cameras. We have new cameras coming. We actually I have the new cameras. We just haven't set them up yet. But it's gonna be so much clearer to see that Captain Coop's beard oil. If you have a beard or you know somebody who does, you can also support Captain Coop's by going to CaptainCoops.com. Bam! Beard oils, beard balms, beard butters, everything you need for your beard. Legit. Yeah, mine's a little whack today. Not whack, it's just it's got a thing to it. It's outside working. Usually I have like a minute before I have to come down here. Literally, I came downstairs and like plugged in and I'm like, all right, let's go. I don't know what we're going to talk about today, but let's go. So it's a little disheveled because it was another one of those days, you know? Everybody has those days. So I'm not here to like bitch and complain about it. But, last night, a good night. Finished reading and then actually restarted reading the Sean Whalen's book, How to Get Shit Done. So I finished reading it last night and then I started back in the middle where he talks about the core four. And like when I read stuff like that, and maybe you're the same way, if you read stuff that's like got a really powerful message and really life-changing things, you can just like, here's the map, like implement this stuff in your life and it could change your life. Some people are like, oh, it's all hippy dippy shit. And then you're like, oh, well, everybody who's been successful has done these things. Oh, well, then fuck you if you don't want to do them. C-Dubs in the house, Malaysia representing today. Welcome back. It's good to see your profile icon on YouTube. Good stuff. So I was reading that last night And like, and then I couldn't sleep because I was just like jazzed. I was like, my mind was just racing and shit. I'm like, man, there's so much stuff. Like, and tomorrow, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get cracking. If you listen to the show, I get up and run like pretty much every day. The added challenge in that is obviously, with Mini Coop here, he would be fine. But the whole thing about like me going on a long run and then him waking up and like nobody being here is a little like, but maybe a little helicopter parenting there too. I'm not sure, but regardless, got up, did a couple miles this morning, threw some weight around, got a good stretch in, good breakfast. Junior had Wisconsin state testing today. They do like once a year. I think they test all the chillins to see where they stand academically compared county to county, school district to school district, state to state, all that shit. So he had to be in person for that. That's why he's been in town for an extended period of time. So it's boom, 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 up, meditate, run. Again, super jazzed reading that book last night. I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna get shit done. Good, cool, done. And then drop him off at school. So drive down, which is it's about 25 minute drive down, 45-minute drive up to work and do the work stuff that's on my list. And I'm like, I got to bolt one, and I get it. Like it's a place of work. Like shit needs to get done. And I'm like, well, here's my thing. Like I have my child to pick up. So I'm going to go. Like I would love to say, but I'm going to go. Right. And so jetted out of there, 45-minute trip down to pick him up at school. Then like dude has had like, I'm not sure when the last time he had a haircut was, but it's been a while. He's got like this weird, like you remember when like Rob Thomas, Matchbox 20, just didn't do his hair, but everybody was into it. It looked like that, but not as Rob Thomasy. It was just like it's kind of like early Biebs, but with a little more like je ne sais quoi to it. I don't know. But I was my buddy D Price, who's going to help the setup with the new studio and stuff. He streams. If you follow him, he's on the Twitch, Fade Game Official on the Twitch. So make sure you follow Dustin. Call of Duty stuff, all the things. So he's like, hey, can I get Junior in to get a haircut? Like, boom. So pick him up at school, go get a haircut. He wants to stop. He got like $20 cash for doing some chores and for his birthday and stuff. It's like, I got this money burning a hole in my pocket. I'm like, save it. He's like, no, I want to spend it. So he went to some store he wanted to go to and end up not getting anything. I'm like, cool. I got to get back. I have to, I'm working on this video series I'm doing for the county, and I want to get that kind of wrapped up today because we're releasing that on Friday and the podcast on Friday. And the other podcast I'm engineering for another company. I'm like, I want to get that started, get that done because that launches on Friday too. Something like that. And so in the midst of all of those things, I was like, oh shit, like I gotta go do Cooperville Live like real quick. So it really all comes down to having a good schedule. And that's been a soul thing for me. What's up, Pete? Let's see, but I just dropped my marker. Oh, good. There's another one. So, it's been a lot of introducing yourself to really utilizing a calendar. This is also part of the how to get shit done, the core 4 from Sean Whalen is have everything kind of like mapped out. So if you can't really get off track, if you're like, no, from 6 to 7 trying to do this, 7 to 8 is this, 8 to 2 is this, everything's locked and loaded. Stay on the path, know the things you have to do in all aspects of life, and you'll just fucking crush it. And so like trying to implement that, but then being like, oh, well, there's also some chaos that tends to come through. And then, my thing is like detaching people's feelings from the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, no, I got fucking shit to do. Like, as important as your things are, I got shit to do. I got shit to do. I know you're 11. I'm kidding. I didn't say that to the child. No. Because he's not 11 until Friday. No, but it's just like everybody else, like, I'm like, just, sorry. Gotta brush that dirt off your shoulders, man, and hit your microphone. But it's tough. It's tough getting in that, getting in a constant schedule and just crushing and being after it. So it was a day. Like I still have, like, this is the shit I wore to work today. This has been on since approximately, I don't know, 5 o'clock this morning. No, it was later than that. Probably 7 still. C-Dubs, what you got going on? So focused on keeping safe from COVID, so you don't have time to watch. You're not. Well, I'm gonna tell you this one thing. Here's what I know about COVID. You can't catch it watching YouTube. I don't think the virus transmits itself through the tube. But if that becomes a thing, like you heard it here first, like now, COVID travels through Wi-Fi signals. Everybody will lose their shit. Now upgrade to 5G. Just kidding. I get it. Scared. People are fearful, man. People out there are fearful, and it's totally weird. So, I was in Eau Claire County, which is the county just south of us, which has really different regulations than we have up here, which is amazing. So, up here, it's like, whatever, you go into the gas station, some people have masks on, some people don't. It's kind of like whatever. It's your right to do or not to do. So, good for you. Do you? But you go down to the county south, and it's like, wow, y'all are really fucking scared of each other, aren't you? It's weird. I don't like it. It makes me not want to come into your county and spend money. It does. I'm for to each his own. I am. I'm for your choice and her choice and his choice. Whatever you want to do. You do you, and I'm gonna do me. And that's just that. And we don't really have to debate about it because it's as simple as, do you want to do all the things? You want to follow all the rules? Do all the regulations? That's cool. Do you? I'm going to do me. And that is the concept of America. Do you? Do me? We good. Not do you and then have me do what you're doing. That's not it. That's something completely different. Anybody in the class have an idea what sort of government runs that way? No, you would do what I tell you to do because this is what I do. Don't think so. No. And you really have to get over like people being huffy and puffy too. That's the toughest part, is the huff and puff. Well, if you're not going to follow the rules, then we're not going to be friends. We're not going to hang out. Okay. Let me check that whole calendar thing I'm trying to really like implement into my life. Okay. Okay. I will schedule my time elsewhere. And that's okay. It's totally okay. Yeah. That was just my day, And I learned this one thing, and I'm kind of just rambling on here because it's like I said, it's my last night with my kids. So we're going to go hang out and do things, have some dinner and get ready. I'm driving him back up tomorrow. So it's kind of like an off the cuff kind of show. I do have some headlines I did want to get to, including a story about a man who talked a bear out of eating him. And caught it on camera. It's the amazement of human beings these days. We can hey, make sure I get this for YouTube or a news story. Get that. But I digress. Do you ever notice how people have an unrealistic expectation of things when they don't do those things? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. Okay. So for 20 years, I was in radio. I started in radio in Madison, Wisconsin, the state's capital, when I was 19. Yeah, 19 years old. Fresh out. Actually, it was before that. I think I might have still been 18 because I graduated and then moved on to Madison and started in radio very shortly thereafter. So maybe I was 18, 19 in that genre, in that range. So like fresh out. Like didn't do anything else. Right into radio, part-time for like 8 months, moved back up to up north, up here, and basically started full-time radio before I was 21. Like 20. So I've been doing radio for forever. And with radio, it's not just like, and people always have a misconception. It's like, well, you go on, you're on for like a 4-hour show. So you just go on, you talk for hours. No, it's basically a full fucking day of, most of it dealing with bullshit. And then like an hour of that is doing like commercials. So like XYZ Excavating wants you to do, they're having a semi-annual sale. And here's a 30-second commercial about semi-annual sale. Now, most of these commercials are pretty fucking easy to do because you have a music bed that's 30 seconds long and you have a script that's usually about 30 seconds long. So you read it, you put the music bed under it, you save it, and it's done. Those are easy. But even though that's a 30-second commercial, it probably takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes to put together. Because you want to get retakes right and you want to make sure that you're embossing in the right syllable, all of those things. 20 years. An hour, if not more a day for 20 years doing that kind of stuff. And so you have those easy ones. Then you have ones that are like super duper intricate. It's explosions and music. And then there's something else. And so it becomes like hours and hours and hours worth of work. Literally hours worth of work. Nonstop, continuous hours worth of work. And you're like, I don't know if I like this particular part. Not realizing that you don't have to redo the whole thing because you save the entire session and you have like, they just want this moved or they want this read a different way. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Got it. Cool. Redo. Easy. That part's easy. The initial part of building it is challenging in itself. Super challenging. But you get used to it. And you kind of get into a habit and you do things and you're used to people being like, no, that's not what I had in mind. And you're like, when I go to McDonald's and they don't make my burger right, I don't really like to go back to the kitchen, tell them how to do it. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I guess I got 7 onions on my burger instead of 6. Okay. I'm cool with it. Like, I let it go. Says it's not my job. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at there? Like, oh yeah, it's I just do that. I'll just go back and make my own burger. Okay. You can't do that, by the way. I haven't tried, but I'm sure people have. Like, no, I'll just come back and make my own fucking burger. I don't care. But you have people that like don't understand conceptually. Like, you can't have, if you want a 30-second commercial, and you want bells and whistles and music and you want all this other stuff. You want the dancing ladies and the fireworks and shit. And you want like cows dancing off of you want a bunch of stuff in there. Okay. You can't have a lot of words because you have to condense those words in order to make it 30 seconds. You just run from cut some things out. Cut the clutter, as they say. Get to the point. So having to do things like 14 or 15 times, when you get to like the 14th time you have to redo something, and you're like, I don't have it in me to do it again. Like, what? Like, shouldn't that just, like, it's a 30-second commercial. Shouldn't it take 30 seconds? No. It takes hours. Comparatively speaking, a 2.5-hour movie does not take 2.5 hours to film. I get it. That's a little bit extreme. But a 30-second TV commercial does not take 30 seconds to put together. It takes several days, maybe weeks, maybe months. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it and get it done. Okay, here, it's done. No, I don't like that. Okay, well, I'll do it again. All right, do it again. No concept. Like, if you have, and whatever you do for work or for school, school is a little bit different because usually, like, the teacher has an idea. Like, if she hands you a math assignment, like, she's probably either handed that out before or, has an idea that this should take you the allotted amount of time because she's the teacher and she has that structure. Right? Like, I understand. It'll fit into this box. But if you have somebody who has no concept of how long things take, just generally speaking, like, let's go and, you know what I really like is that Eiffel Tower. I really do. I like the Eiffel Tower. Could you go and build that? Like, and if we can get that done today, that would be great. It is office space. Holy shit. I just made the connect. It's office space. Anybody want to work? Gonna need you to come in on Saturday and maybe come in on Sunday. There's just not enough money in the world. There's not enough money in the world to do things in life that you do not enjoy doing. Get up in the morning and go to, just doesn't set a good tone, you know? You know, you appreciate everything. You got to be grateful and be thankful for things. But when you start getting into like circular loops of like, this is so not fulfilling in life. At some point you got to jump ship and you got to be like, you know what? We're just going to fucking do something else. And again, this all really stems from reading that book. And I read through, like I said, I've read through it the first time, How to Make Shit Happen by Sean Whalen. Sean Whalen's been on the show. If you missed the Sean Whalen episode, there's a motherfucker you need to go and listen to that episode. It was a couple weeks ago. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitch. It's on Facebook Live. And the podcast is out too. So if you didn't know, we take the audio from some of these shows and we post them on our podcast. It's Welcome to Cooperville. So look for the Sean Whalen episode, which is a couple back, and you can listen to it instead of having to watch us chit chat back and forth. But that book was like, if you're doing something, if you're waking up every day and you've got irons in the fire, man, you're trying to do stuff, but there is just something that is in your craw. You gotta just figure it out. You gotta just let that shit go. And I think it was reading that book last night when I got up today, I was like, man, the shit that we are doing, like the amount of shit that is happening right now is insane. It's crazy. You know, we have the show, we have the live show, we have the podcast. We're doing the studio rebuilds. We're going to have the capabilities of doing like live stuff in studio with guests on camera. We may even do some satellite camera stuff. We got that in the works. We're talking to some bands about going on the road and doing some like the live show from the road and streaming it every day and having the bands on. And we're doing this Florida trip next month. And we're like, yeah, maybe do like something on the show, like on the fucking beach. Like how kick-ass would that be? Talk to random Floridians about what is it like to be free for the last year? Like there's big things. And then we got, Cooperville Clothing Company. I mean, we're at a big call tomorrow on that. It's like, or go and repeatedly bang your head against the wall with little to no reward. No thanks. Gratitude. Just peace off. So lots of stuff. We got lots of stuff happening. Really excited. We're doing the thing for the county. I've taught myself Adobe Premiere Pro basically in the last 24 hours. I knew how to use it. I was going to do some really like easy stuff. I was like, yeah, we'll do the video of the podcast and then we'll do like a little thing. But then like when I get into stuff, especially when it comes to like software like that, programming, either Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the video editing tool, or there's DaVinci is out there too, that DaVinci Resolve. I've watched like a 45-minute tutorial on that and I'm blown away by how cool it is. But I wanted to just get these done with Premiere, and I'm like, dive in. Like I want to know how how this stuff works. And the fact that I can just go into Google or go to DuckDuckGo and be like, how do I lower the volume on a music bed underneath audio that I have playing from a video? And I can have in a minute and 15-second video that somebody else did the answer to that question. Now I know how to do it. That's also been my week. There is a $200 masterclass on using Adobe Premiere Pro. And I took this week during free time to learn how to use it. I'm not a master at it though. I'm kind of like, how does this work? Like all this stuff, all these things added to the arsenal. And, you have to keep growing. Like you have to keep learning stuff. C-dubs, keep learning stuff, man. You're on the YouTube channel. Like keep learning stuff, man. Keep growing. Keep getting better. Follow other people who are doing great stuff. Be like, damn. Even though the apparel company started a long time ago. It started when we launched Captain Coops. Oh, by the way, I also have a men's care product line. I have that too. Not enough stuff. But it started like, we're doing some cool stuff with the apparel. And I was like, we don't have creative control over it because it's fulfillment. So I send the logo there and they put it on a shirt and whatever. That kind of kickstarted it. But then like watching Sean Whalen and the things that he's doing and watching my buddy Jeff, who owns Iron and Ink Fitness or Iron and Ink clothing company, originally out of Minneapolis. I think they just moved down to Florida too. That was a great story though. My buddy Jeff and Alec went down. They're from Iron and Ink. They went down to Florida, I think on vacation. And they came back and like, we're fucking moving to Florida. We're taking the company and we're going. I'm like, that is awesome. I love it. It was the middle of winter in Minnesota too. So I'm like, I get it, man. I get the fuck out of here too. If I were you, I would be leaving on a jet plane. So good for them. But you like watch guys like these, like, man, it's cool. Like they have all these cool things that come to your mind. Like, but that'll look good on a t-shirt. I say that shit all the time. I'm like, I say something or somebody else will say something like that needs to be on a t-shirt because it would sell. And that's where this whole Cooperville clothing line thing came from, was that concept. And the blessings of Blake Allison and Joey Walzer from Devour the Day and Egypt Central, a couple of fabulous bands who also have a window in company who they did our intro, readywaves.com. If you're a streamer and you want music that's not going to get you kicked off of the platform, or not kicked off, but silence on the platform, high quality, royalty-free music, readywaves.com. Check it out. Those guys are doing great things there. But that's kind of was the inroad. They're like, what else? Like, what are you feeling, man? I'm like, this clothing company thing is sticking to my craw a little bit. And it's like, well, let's fucking make it happen. So we're doing the rebrand of the logo. That's going away. That's going into the archives. 2 years in, it's going to the archives. So rebrand the clothing line. We got new overlays coming in for the live stream. And we're moving the stream from Streamlabs over to StreamYard to Streamlabs. And it's just like 1,010 different fantastic things that are happening. So it was time to take a step back from doing the full-time job, which tomorrow I'm taking the kid back up to his mom. So day off there. I got the big phone call in the morning, big show tomorrow. So all that shit going on. And then, work a little bit on Friday, and then I have another session with Chippewa Chats, which we're doing for Chippewa County, and then next week it's going to be like sporadic. If you want to accomplish the things you need to accomplish, like you have to be able to focus on them. And I'll tell you the most difficult thing about doing this show is the fact that usually there's about 12 to 13 hours of my day that is already in the books by the time the show starts. Day starts at 4, day starts at 5. It's up, it's meditation, it's running, it's getting up, fucking having breakfast, crazy things like that. Usually working on a few things and then driving to work and doing the work thing and then coming back, shoveling food in, and then coming on here. And your brain, everybody knows this. When you have a long day at work, you have a long day at school, fucking inside, outside, up, down, climbing shit, carrying shit. by the end of the day, like the ability to mentally be able to spew things out the way I like to, and I normally do, really becomes challenging because you're like, oh, you just got kicked in the head by a cow. It just doesn't function right, you know? And if you have artists on, like we've had a ton of amazing people on this show. We're going on 3 months, 3 months every single day, except we took one Friday off. That was the day my kid came into town last week. Took one Friday off. Like, you have to be able to focus on these things and take the time to be like, hey, if I have a guest on, I want to make sure that I know everything there is to know about that guest, or everything I need to know about the topic that that particular guest is on to talk about, or has interest in, or what their story is, be able to reference point, all these things, like all these informational things that you need to have like wherewithal for. And when you need to get sleep, apparently that's a thing. Trust me, I was a person who for a long time went on this 4 to 6 hour a night of sleep thing, thought I could do it, and it literally damn near fucking killed me. Legit damn near killed me. Like, legit thought I was having a heart attack, legit got into an ambulance, legit went to the hospital, but legit was there for the day. Almost killed me. Because I thought 4 hours sleep is enough. I read a book and it said 4 hours of sleep is enough. And I was like, well, I was burning 2,000 calories a day working out. I was working every day in radio, working on other things, other projects. And one day I just went in and I'm like, whew, I don't feel great. And I remember Taylor, my former coworker, I walked into her office and I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm having a heart attack. Can you please call the ambulance? And then I collapsed on the floor. And it turned out to be something else. There is something going on in there. There's some sort of enlarged aortic valve or something along those lines. So that was a contributing factor to it. So no heart attack, just the bill to go along. You know how expensive it is to ride in a fucking ambulance? Good Lord. Telling you what, if I ever actually do have a heart attack, I'm fucking driving. Fuck you guys. Like, what? What's this? Oh, this is the ambulance bill. It was 8 blocks. They didn't even have the sirens on. I don't think. I don't know. It was wild. So you need to sleep. What I'm getting at is you need to have sleep in your life, because that shit is important. And I get like, put your mind to it, man. Just put your mind to it. Like if you're not taking care of yourself, eating right, getting exercise, filling your brain with positive things, like you can't, like it's impossible to be able to solely focus on something when you have dumb brain, when your brain's dumb. And what happens if you try to force yourself into doing things when you have brain dumb? You don't get great results. Like things aren't awesome. And you want things to be awesome. And sometimes things are like, yeah, that sounded good. And they're not. And then your ability to focus loses track too, where you're like, well, I need to sit down, I need to hammer out this project, I need to hammer out this commercial, I need to hammer out this podcast, I need to hammer out this show. Like you will get into it. Then you're like, you get lost in the lights for a bit. And that's not good. That's actually extremely bad. So to make a long rant short, as we get the new PC came in today, so we're excited about getting the studio set up and revamped. The background going to take probably a while. We're gonna do some cool shiplap stuff back here, and we're gonna mount the monster stuff and cool things like that, and move the table back a little bit. And if you want to look on the other side, when I get my other camera set up, you'll be able to see the other side. But we have a vanity TV mounted up here, this giant monitor here, which I'm looking at, and there's a bunch of chairs and shit, like like a half of a couch back there. Like all that shit's coming out. It's gonna open the space up, wider angle. We'll have a bunch of cool shit back here. If you'd like to sponsor the show, we can put your cool shit right here, and then I'll take it out like this. Check it out. Shameless, right? But all that stuff, now that we have all the pieces for the rebuild here, and with the launch of the clothing company imminent, you got to prioritize your shit, and that prioritization comes with focusing on these things, focusing on the show, on getting great guests in, and then recycling all the show stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch the show or you follow follow any of the social media stuff, like we put up an ad mat, a picture with the guest that's coming up, times and details and hashtags and all that stuff. What we need to be doing is putting that up, and then after the show, putting the video up and putting clips up. And hey, it's just one time we were talking about this. That amount of time consumption is extraordinary. It's extraordinary. The new system will help. We'll be able to rock things out super quick, do it right away after the show's done. My mic won't be right next to my arm. It'll be coming from that way, which is going to be super sweet. But it's just focus on you. And this could be an age thing as well. So C-dubs, I know you're focused on keeping safe from COVID, as you so interestingly put it right here. I get it. But you're young, so that's cool, man. But I wish when I was young, I'd have been like, I should really be super focused on something. But I wasn't. Now I'm 40, going to be 41. I have no qualms admitting that. But it's dude, if not now, when? How long do you want to go through the bullshit day to day before you start actually doing the things that you want to do with your life? Start writing shit down. There's freaking Post-it notes. There is sheets. There is stuff written down everywhere in this studio. Write down the shit that you want to do, and then you go, okay, how do I get to this point? What do you want? I want lots of money. All right, well, why? Because I want to buy cool shit. Okay. What does cool shit mean? What does that mean to you? Well, I want to buy a cool truck and buy a cool Jeep and buy a cool house. And all right, well, what do you really want? You want freedom, right? You want fucking freedom. You want the freedom to be able to crush shit during the day, get after it, be able to go on date night, be able to take a vacation once in a while, be able to build and create really cool stuff. You want to be able to help people. All of those things. That's freedom. If you're under somebody else's thumb all the time, fulfilling their goals of freedom, that's just what you're going to do. That's it. You're just going to be tooling under somebody's thumb, helping them gain their freedom, their financial freedom. Where's the boss? He's on vacation. Well, of course he is. Hey, brought a new truck. Oh, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Hey, got these really nice cigars. Oh, man. Shouldn't say it. I just ordered some cigars.com, which if anybody knows anybody at cigars.com, I'm the dude. I just got some fantastic Sweet Janes, some Rough Riders. Oh Lordy. I'm going to have one of those things tonight, I think. That's my jam. Maybe a glass of bourbon and a stogie. Life good. But those are the kind of things, it seems insignificant. Hey, you want to have they weren't expensive. I'm not talking big shit, It's oh, you want to have an $8 cigar and a $4 glass of bourbon. You want to be able to have that stuff. That's the freedom. That's why you chase all the things. That's why you do all the things. But you can't do all the things when you're doing shit that's not helping you attain your goal, right? You got to be able to figure it out. I don't know. just on a rant. And it could just be a day. Like tomorrow, maybe I'll be like, whatever. It's all good. Go to work for the man. Do the bidding. That's another thing, man, is I love people. I'm a people person. I think for the most part, humans are good people. I mean, some of y'all are kind of fucking dumb. I'm fucking dumb. So that's cool too. But, there's I never have looked down on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I like everybody's kind of on an even par with me. Like I've interviewed Kiss. Like I've stood Kiss in full costume. And they're fucking 10-inch boots. Like, I mean, I'm 6 foot and they're like 2 feet higher than I am. And I've fucking stood there and I've talked to them before, chatted, interviewed them. Like, it's cool. I've talked to people who have struggled, like have had deep, deep struggles. Like we're right here. That's me. Like I try to keep, the level the same. I'm never like, hey, look at my fancy microphone. It doesn't fucking make it, doesn't do a thing. It's just something I'm passionate about and I want to do. But there are, and these people because chances are you work for them. There are people who make you feel like you are less of a person. You know what I'm saying? That are like, here's the totem pole. And you are on the bottom. And on the top, if you remember totem poles, the top usually has like a giant bird, big wings, like just overlooking things like, rah, that's me. I'm up top. You're on the bottom. And sometimes it's not intentional. It's just natural course of things. So you're like on the bottom of that totem pole looking up and you're like, you know what happens when they cut off the bottom of the totem pole, right? Totem pole falls down. That's why I keep everybody on the equal level. Keep them on the playing field, Keep them right here. Every guest on the show. Right here. They're 20 times more talented than I am. Much more financially independent than I am. Well, most of them. But we're like right here. We're here. We're here the whole time. There's never a moment where I feel that they're looking down upon me for being whatever this is, a live stream podcast host. And there's never a moment I'm like, wow, you're so on the top of that totem pole. Like, no. On the level. And if you are on a higher level, just say whatever, financially speaking or educationally, whatever, if you are, like, as you gravitate towards those in your circle who are more articulate, more, you just naturally gravitate into a different class of people that you associate with because you're trying to grow. But you also need to be able to help others up. And if someone asks you for help, asks you for advice, asks you for your 2 cents on a thing, or they have an idea, or, you've started a business. I want to start a business. Like, how did you do this? Like, you offer that advice to people. You share that with them. This behind closed doors, like nobody gets into the good old boys club that's not how shit works. That is not how you attain fulfilling success. That is how you become isolated eventually over time, unless you have a group of people who is the same way. Then it's like the 3 of you like hanging out. Why not fuck did everybody go? Yeah. Then you bring the stragglers in. Okay. We need some entertainment. Bring in the dancing monkeys. Yeah. Oh, I've said this quote before. I ain't going to be no dancing chicken on a hot plate. If anybody knows what movie that's from, I've been saying it like the last 3 weeks. I'm like, I will not be a dancing chicken. Nobody's hot plate. It's from some movie. I can't recall what it's from, but Google search it after the show. But Pete, if you need a model for your clothing, I'll hit you up, Pete. I'll hit you up, brother. We'll get you in on that. We got we're gonna order a bunch of stuff. We're gonna get a bunch of stuff in stock when the line kicks off, and I'm doing some photos and doing some cool shit on social media. By the way, if you wanted to, if you're feeling ambitious, excuse me, I think we are on. There's no content on there, so don't feel like you're gonna go there and be like, oh, this is super cool. But we've held the pages for Cooperville Clothing Co. On Facebook and on Instagram. So if you would like to go and follow when we launch stuff, it'll be super cool. By the way, if you've heard before, the first crack at everything, the first visuals, the first chance to buy, the first chance to pre-order any of our stuff is only going to be available to our Patreons. So if you want to have that exclusive access and also obviously help support the show, the link is in the comment sections wherever you're watching, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. The link is there for our Patreon. We got plans for as low as $10 a month. Again, it helps support the show, helps keep the content going, and helps me not have to bang my head against the wall repeatedly throughout the course of the day, and then come and entertain for 46 minutes and 42 seconds as we are right now. But on that note, tomorrow's show is going to be super rad. Raul the Rapper is going to be on the program. That is going to start at 5 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday. Dude is badass. If you don't know Raul the Rapper, go and look him up on Instagram. He's got some great tracks on there. Dude is, we're going to talk beards, man. I don't know if Raul has got a beard company that he needs to have some stuff from, but we could send him some. The dude's got a wicked beard. He raps, plays the guitar. Dude, the shit's wild. It's awesome. I love it. Raul the Rapper is going to be on the program tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. And there'll be less of me ranting and raving and preaching that we all need to do better at life. So until then, 5 p.m. tomorrow, until we meet again, take care of yourselves and take care of one another.